Rise and shine. 6 a.m. and your hand can't make it to the alarm clock before the voices in your head start telling you that it's too early, too dark, and too cold to get out of bed. Aching muscles lie still in rebellion, pretending not to hear your brain commanding them to move. A legion of voices are shouting their unanimous permission for you to hit the snooze button and go back to dreamland. But you didn't ask their opinion. The voice you've chosen to listen to is one of defiance. A voice that says there was a reason you set that alarm in the first place. So sit up, put your feet on the floor, and don't look back, because we've got work to do. Welcome to the grind. For what is each day but a series of conflicts between the right way and the easy way? 10,000 streams fan out like a river delta before you, each one promising the path of least resistance. The thing is, you're headed upstream. And when you make that choice, when you decide to turn your back on what's comfortable and safe and what some would call common sense, well, that's day one. From there, it only gets tougher. So just make sure this is something you want, because the easy way out will always be there, ready to wash you away. All you have to do is pick up your feet. But you aren't going to, are you? With each step comes the decision to take another. You're on your way now, but this is no time to dwell on how far you've come. You're in a fight against an opponent you can't see, but oh, you can feel him on your heels, can't you? Feel him breathing down your neck. You know what that is? That's you. Your fears, your doubts, and insecurities all lined up like a firing squad, ready to shoot you out of the sky. But don't lose heart. While they're not easily defeated, they are far from invincible. Remember, this is the grind, the battle royale between you and your mind, your body, and the devil on your shoulder who's telling you that this is just a game. This is just a waste of time. Your opponents are stronger than you. Drown out the voice of uncertainty with the sound of your own heartbeat. Burn away your self-doubt with a fire lit beneath you. Remember what we're fighting for, and never forget that momentum's a cruel mistress. She can turn on a dime with the smallest mistake. She is ever searching for the weak place in your armor, that one tiny thing you forgot to prepare for. So as long as the devil is hiding the details, the question remains, is that all you got? Are you sure? And when the answer is yes, when you've done all you can to prepare yourself for battle, then it's time to go forth and boldly face your enemy, the enemy within. Only now you must take that fight into the open, into hostile territory. You're a lion in a field of lions, all hunting the same elusive prey with a desperate starvation that says victory is the only thing that can keep you alive. So believe that voice that says you can run a little faster and you can throw a little harder, and that for you, the laws of physics are merely a suggestion. Luck is the last dying wish of those who want to believe that winning can happen by accident. Sweat, on the other hand, is for those who know it's a choice. So decide now, because destiny waits for no man. And when your time comes and 1,000 different voices are trying to tell you you're not ready for it, listen instead to that lone voice of dissent. The one that says you are ready, you are prepared. It's all up to you now. So rise and shine.
Oh, yeah, rise and shine. Mike Allen on the Air Monday Morning Brew. I know all your brackets are trash, mine's trash too, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. I could come out of this okay, and I could, if things go right, have the Final Four. I don't know, let's check it out. Stick around. I'm Mike Allen. This is Armed Radio, and you are on the Air Monday Morning Brew. Be right back.
Hey, listen up. Are you tired of being tired? Looking for that extra boost? Do yourself a favor and visit buylimitlessenergy.com to learn about limitless energy. That's buylimitlessenergy.com for limitless energy. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. buylimitlessenergy.com. That's buylimitlessenergy.com. So stop wasting your life. Get limitless energy now.
Victims of Terrorism Foundation Incorporated in New York, New York, is working at debunking 9/11 conspiracy theories through book sales and a free channel on YouTube. It is the goal of the Victims of Terror organization to place stores at locations of terror attacks to assist in charities in raising money for their causes concerning those that were left behind. Visit www.votf.com to find out more information or to bring your charity together with others. We will never forget that day. Let us not forget those who are affected the most.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
The attacks of 9/11 have continued to shake our nation. As more and more information becomes available on the internet, it may be difficult to decipher what is fact and what is wild speculation. Author and investigator K.T. Penn has taken on the task of confronting the conspiracies head-on. In his book, Lifting Up the Cushions, Exposing Loose Change, he step-by-step walks the reader down the conspiracy path, debunking the findings of the controversial film Loose Change. Visit his website, exposingloosechange.com, and get more information about what really happened that fateful day.
Do you think laughter is for sissies? Or do you hate Santa Claus? Do you know that somebody does? If you answer yes to either of these two questions, then see a therapist. And visit this website right now at TwerksFunnyT-shirts.com. The T in T-shirt is spelled T-E-E. Warning. These funny t-shirts and posters make great guests and may cause internal bleeding, night terrors, blurred vision, and hemorrhoids. Please visit the website right now at TwerksFunnyT-shirts.com, where you'll find some of the funniest t-shirts and posters on the web.
Glastic Water Bottle, a shatterproof glass water bottle. It's great for any liquid because everything tastes best in glass. A leak-proof lid you can close and toss on the couch without worry. Chances are it won't ever break, but if it does, no worries. The glass is safely contained inside a protective outer shell, so you won't have a dangerous mess to clean up. You can safely remove the broken glass and get replacements. Go to GlasticWaterBottle.com to get your very own Glastic bottle today. That's GlasticWaterBottle.com. GLASSTIC waterbottle.com. What are you waiting for?
All right, good morning. I don't know if you guys filled out a bracket for the NCAA tournament. I don't know how many of you still have your bracket around, but what a train wreck. From Wednesday to today. Oh, the mighty have fallen. Mercer? Really? Who the hell is Mercer? Stephen F. Austin? Man, well, it's a wreck. So we're going to go through my picks and my bracket and see how I fared. You get your brackets out and set them down next to you. We can compare notes. And if anybody out there right now tweets me and says that their bracket is solid and they've made all the picks correctly and they've got 100% of their team still in it, I'm going to go ahead and call BS. I'm just going to go ahead and say you're a liar. Pretty much. Because I don't think there's anybody out there. I mean, the $1 billion bracket from ESPN was done the first day. The first round of games, that thing was done. But here, let's look at it here. I had picked, in the first round, I had Florida beating Albany. And they did. And then I had Colorado beating Pittsburgh, and they didn't. So Florida advanced. Now, Florida's still in it. Now, I had Florida going all the way. I had Florida up against UCLA, and that I picked correctly. Florida and UCLA in the Sweet 16, and that's what I picked. Stephen F. Austin, I had going. I picked that one correctly. So that whole bracket there, except for Colorado, that top bracket, if you're looking at the ESPN.go.com men's college basketball tournament bracket, I'm pretty solid in that top bracket there in the South. And we go down to the other side and not do too well. First of all, Ohio State gets blown away by Dayton. Dayton, who the hell is Dayton? Well, apparently Dayton's pretty damn good because they're in the Sweet 16 against Stanford. I didn't even have Stanford getting out of the first round, so I don't have anybody there. And Dayton and Stanford. Stanford downs Kansas. Number 10 Stanford down Kansas, 60-57. That was yesterday, and they are in the Sweet 16 versus Dayton. And that's yeah, I'm done. I'm done there. But I had Kansas winning out. They're not gonna. So that's 1/4 of my Final Four that's not going to make it. Now, a little bit of update. Florida, UCLA. I'm going to go ahead and give that one to Florida. I think Florida's on a hot streak right now, and but they haven't had a real challenge. But out of Florida and UCLA, I'm going to have to go with Florida. So in my revised bracket, which I can do now because the teams are gone that I picked, so there's no, I have to go with what's left. So in the revised bracket between UCLA and Florida, actually I picked UCLA. So I'm going to stick with UCLA. Even though I think Florida's got the hotter hand, UCLA did fight off a very feisty Stephen F. Austin team, and they're ranked they're ranked lower than Florida. Florida's a number 1 seed, but I think that's I picked UCLA when it was against Florida, so I'm going to go ahead and stick. I'm going to stick to my guns there. All right, going down to the East. University of Virginia and Michigan State. Well, I picked Michigan State to go all the way through, so I still got Michigan State in there. Michigan State fended off a Harvard team, and they almost lost that thing. Harvard was in it within 10 for the last 5 minutes of the second half. So hats off to Harvard. I did not see that. I thought Cincinnati had that. They beat Cincinnati 61-57. Then fell to Michigan State 80-73, and that's respectable for Harvard. I mean, Harvard to go up against a number 4 powerhouse like Michigan State and give them a run like that and make them score 80 to beat you, hats off to Harvard. Harvard stuck with it. Got a little feistiness down there with them mathematic whizzes. Lost students. But I got Michigan State winning it out. So Michigan State's still in it. My pick's still in it. They play the University of Virginia. And I still have Michigan State winning out. But I did call that. No, I didn't. I had Memphis winning. I had Memphis beating Virginia. So Michigan State and Virginia, I'm going to stick with Michigan State because I got them winning out. Iowa State, ranked number 3 coming into the tournament, and they surprised me. I thought North Carolina would beat them, but they didn't, and they fell short 85-83. It was a great game, down to the last second. Actually, there's a little bit of controversy near the end of that game where the clock had actually ran out. The clock had ran out, and the North Carolina coach wanted to call a timeout, but the referees got together, says, we would give you the timeout, but the clock had already expired. The clock operator started at 1 second too late, and that 1 second made all the difference as North Carolina is defeated by Iowa State 85-83. I didn't have Iowa State even coming out of the first round. I don't know why. I think I missed that. It's Iowa State, by the way. Sometimes I have a little bit of a football mentality when I go into this, so I don't make the right call, and I didn't. But I do have Villanova, so I picked Villanova correctly to make it to the Sweet 16, and they're sitting in the Sweet 16, and they would be playing Iowa State. So good for them. And that's the East. Now head on over to the West. I had Baylor going all the way to the Final Four. And Baylor, but let's start at the top. I had Arizona, Oklahoma State. Gonzaga actually ended up beating Oklahoma State. So Oklahoma State is out. I'm going to get my pen over here. I forgot to mark that out. So Arizona advances to the Sweet 16. So that whole bracket's dead. I had Oklahoma and Oklahoma State playing to go to the Elite Eight, and they're done. They're done. Baylor was going up against number 3 Creighton. Creighton, who very handily took out Louisiana Lafayette, which didn't say much, but Baylor's on a hot streak, and I picked Baylor to go to the Final Four. So Baylor and Wisconsin will be playing in the Sweet 16, and I don't have Wisconsin, I don't even think, coming out of the first round. Let's see. No, actually, I called that one correctly. How about that? Baylor, Wisconsin in the Sweet 16. So I'm looking pretty good there. So far, I'm not looking too... Well, yeah, I'm looking like crap. I'm about 50%. Because then we got to go down to the Midwest. And the only one I called correctly out of the Midwest is Michigan. Wichita State I had going to play Michigan in the Elite Eight. That didn't happen. Wichita State, number 1 seeded Wichita State, fell to Kentucky in a very tough, very closely contested basketball game. It was a joy to watch, exciting to watch. But they fell by 2 points, 78-76. And St. Louis Obispo in Louisville, 66-51 Louisville. I don't even think I had them coming out of the... No, I had them coming out and losing to North Carolina State. So Louisville is in the Sweet 16 against the University of Kentucky. That's going to be a great game. A lot of people have Louisville in the Final Four. I don't. I have Michigan in the Final Four. They play number 11, Tennessee. And Tennessee, I don't even think I had them coming out of it. No, I had UMass and Duke. So we just go ahead and scratch those guys out. So that's mine. The train wreck that is. I'm actually pretty good. In the Final Four, I've got 3 of the Final Four still in it. The only one I don't have is Kansas, because Kansas is out. So I should be 75% after, well, when do they play next year? Let's see. They'll be playing in tonight. Yeah, 29th and 30th. Well, hold on. Sweet is 27th, 28th. That's Thursday. So Thursday and Friday. After Thursday and Friday of the Sweet 16, I should have my Elite 8 out of that. So that's where I sit. That's it. I'll just set this train wreck right over here. Keep the dust off my keyboard. This is Monday Morning Brew. I'm Mike Allen. You're on the air. We are on so many formats I can't count anymore. It's MyGen 365, Live 365, Athena 365, Spreaker's being broadcast live right now. Also, we're working with iHeartRadio, all these other big changes coming. We'll talk about that when we come back. I'm Mike Allen. You're on the air, Monday Morning Brew, and this is Armed Radio. Be right back.
Hey, listen up. Are you tired of being tired? Looking for that extra boost? Do yourself a favor and visit buylimitlessenergy.com to learn about limitless energy. That's buylimitlessenergy.com for limitless energy. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. buylimitlessenergy.com. That's buylimitlessenergy.com. So stop wasting your life. Get limitless energy now.
Victims of Terrorism Foundation Incorporated in New York, New York, is working at debunking 9/11 conspiracy theories through book sales and a free channel on YouTube. It is the goal of the Victims of Terror organization to place stores at locations of terror attacks to assist in charities in raising money for their causes concerning those that were left behind. Visit www.votf.com to find out more information or to bring your charity together with others. We will never forget that day. Let us not forget those who were affected the most.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
The attacks of 9/11 have continued to shake our nation. As more and more information becomes available on the internet, it may be difficult to decipher what is fact and what is wild speculation. Author and investigator K.T. Penn has taken on the task of confronting the conspiracies head-on. In his book, Lifting Up the Cushions, Exposing Loose Change, he step-by-step walks the reader down the conspiracy path, debunking the findings of the controversial film Loose Change. Visit his website, exposingloosenchange.com, and get more information about what really happened that fateful day.
Do you think laughter is for sissies? Or do you hate Santa Claus? Do you know that somebody does? If you answer yes to either of these two questions, then see a therapist. And visit this website right now at twerksfunnyt-shirts.com. The T in t-shirt is spelled T-E-E. Warning. These funny t-shirts and posters make great gifts and may cause internal bleeding, night terrors, blurred vision, and hemorrhoids. Please visit the website right now at twerksfunnyt-shirts.com, where you'll find some of the funniest t-shirts and posters on the web.
Glastic water bottle, a shatterproof glass water bottle. It's great for any liquid because everything tastes best in glass. A leak-proof lid you can close and toss on the couch without worry. Chances are it won't ever break, but if it does, no worries. The glass is safely contained inside a protective outer shell, so you won't have a dangerous mess to clean up. You can safely remove the broken glass and get replacements. Go to GlasticWaterBottle.com to get your very own Glastic bottle today. That's GlasticWaterBottle.com. GLASSTIC waterbottle.com. What are you waiting for?
Welcome back, folks. On the air, I'm Mike Allen. This is Monday Morning Brew. Every Monday morning, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, you can, get them start your week off right, man, you know? Mondays suck as it is, don't they? Gotta get up. Just had a nice long weekend of sports or barbecue or whatever the heck you're doing. Now you gotta go to work. Well, we might have a caller calling in. His name's Ludwig. He's been on the show before. He's a big follower of indie wrestling here in the local area. He's got a YouTube channel. Let's see if he'll call in. But before we get to that, in the news, if you've been following any of the news, the big hot story right now is the airplane, Malaysia airplane that apparently took off. Something happened, and it's gone. So now we're getting all these video images or images from satellites of debris in the ocean. Oh, wait a minute. We might have. Let's see if Lud's here. Joining us now from Georgetown, Texas, on the Glass Sticks Celebrity Hotline. Please welcome Mr. Ludwig. How you doing, Lud? Are you there? Oh, I guess he's not there. Well, maybe we'll try to call back. Oh, there he is. Let's try this again. Lud, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, there he is. Welcome to the show. You're live on the air again. It's been a while. You've been on the show before.
Yes, I have. Yes.
On the evening show, on Wednesday night show.
Yes, I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Well, we were talking a little bit on Facebook about a shoot interview you just did. Tell us a little bit about your you got a channel of all these videos that you've compiled over the years of local indie wrestlers and professional wrestling kind of as a whole, don't you?
Yes, I've actually got two YouTube channels. One is www.youtube.com/King Ludwig, and then the other one, just do a search for Alec Johnston, AlecJohnston. That is my other channel. That's the channel that's got the interview I just did.
The interview, yeah, it's a very in-depth interview, actually, with one of the local professional wrestlers who's been wrestling for 13 years. He runs the Total Championship Wrestling promotion out of Austin, Texas. His name is Mr. B.
Yes.
And I've gotten through parts 1 and 2. It's interesting interview.
It was, I believe the total running time was 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Wow.
For the full thing. And I know people can go to other places and get shoot interview DVDs, things like that. My work, I always post it for free. Fans don't have to pay a penny for it.
They go on your YouTube channels?
Yes.
Now, how does, you're pretty in-depth, and I know that you and your son are huge fans of the local indie scene. I see about every promotion. You and Barry Savant, I see everything. You guys are at everything. What is your take on the local indie scene right now? I mean, we talked about, God, it had to be almost a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a while. It was back when my show first started. So a lot of things have changed. And some things that came up. Some things that came up just recently with one of the promotions, and then the emergence of what I think, and from what I've seen in my experience, which is maybe 2 years, is probably one of the best run local indie promotions I've ever been to, and they've got it right, and they're on the right track, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's Inspire Pro.
Their shows, I've attended every single one. My son has attended all of them except one, because they ran a show the day before the kids went back to school after Christmas break. So it was like, right, Jack, you have to go to bed tonight and get ready for school. But Dad's going. But they're on every level, from the promoting to the building itself is a beautiful building, the Marquesa Theatre. The talent that they're bringing in is fantastic, and the matchup they have are incredible. They blow. The stuff you're seeing on TV doesn't compare to what you're seeing here.
No. Well, you talked about that a little bit in the B interview, about how people spend all this money to go to a WWE, which is, it's good. You should go to that, and you should. And in my opinion, if you're a wrestler and you don't go to a WWE show, then you have no aspirations to get to the next level or to see what you can achieve. But you're right. The point was made in the interview that on these these huge shows, these huge venues, you don't get the interpersonal connection that you do at an indie show. I mean, these guys are getting out into the audience and throwing chairs and
and not to knock WWE. I mean, they put out an amazing product and they make the money they make because of the work they put in. But like you were saying, if you're a wrestler and you don't go to a WWE show, I find it humorous. I don't go to WWE shows for personal reasons, from things that happened in the past. But if a professional wrestler on the independent level chooses not to go, that's fine. But don't knock other wrestlers who do go, because you go to an NFL game, you're bound to see college football players there watching, because that's where they want to get. They want to get to that level.
Yeah, well, and you want to, you got to put that dream out in front of you. And you can't hate the end product and be to be a professional wrestler. If your aspirations are just to be local, then that's fine. But don't badmouth the end product.
The interview that I filmed with Mr. B, I found it, even though I'm conducting the interview, I found it fascinating. Because he's not just a wrestler, he's also a promoter. So he was answering things from the in-ring side of it, and then as a promoter. And when he was talking about when he goes there, he's timing things like the production crew changing out a canvas and them having the loud cannon behind the entranceway for the extra loud bang for the fireworks and stuff. He goes there to see that kind of stuff so that he can bring it back and try and up his own product for his own company.
Yeah,
you don't have to just watch what they're doing in the ring. You can look around at everything they're doing on an entire production level and learn.
And he's the promoter of TCW, or Total Championship Wrestling, that's based out of Austin.
Yes, and they also have a show coming up on April 26th, which is Wrestle Wars 5. I don't have the information in front of me about the venue or the address, but you can find it on the computer if you just look up, if you go to Google and look up TCW-Austin, you'll find their website and it will have the information there. I didn't have it in front of me right now.
Well, I'll put that in right now. Actually, I'm on his Facebook page. Hold on, let me see if they have a venue. I know he was talking about it. I did some work with Total Championship and helping them with one of their shows, and I wish them luck. I won't be working with them, but I don't have anything against Mr. B. He's a good wrestler. He's very entertaining wrestler.
Oh, he really is, yeah.
And he understands the business, and he understands
during the interview. During the interview, I was not just blown away by his knowledge, because you get people who say they've been in the business, 10 years, 12 years, 13 years, and sometimes they come across as they're more of a fan of the business, and they're happy that they are wrestling.
Yeah.
You can tell he's put a lot of thought, and he's listened at every company he's been at. He's listened to promoters and veterans, and he's looked at different products, and he's working to try and bring his own company up. But he's also working at ACW, at the Mohawk, and he's also working for Inspire Pro Wrestling as well.
Yeah, he was in the Royal Rumble in the last one.
Yes, and then the next event, he's in a scramble match with, I think it's either 5 or 6 other wrestlers, which is going to be going towards, I can't remember the name of what it is, but it's going to be like the equivalent of their cruiserweight or light heavyweight championship.
Well, TCW here in Austin, Texas, will be running their Wrestle Wars 5. It's kind of like the WrestleMania. It's 2410 East Riverside Drive in Austin, Texas. I'm trying to imagine. I don't know if that's a warehouse. Hold on, let me look.
I'm not sure of the location off the top of my head.
It's 2410 East Riverside Drive is where it's going to be at. Let me see if I can. Let's see. There's Pleasant Valley. Okay, it's going to be right off Pleasant Valley and East Riverside. It's going to be a. I don't know what venue that would be, but there's a strip mall in there. It's got some big open spaces, so it might be one of the gyms or something there at East Riverside Drive. But it's East Riverside and Pleasant Valley. It's 2410 East Riverside. That's where it's going to be. It's going to be April 26th. Bell time is at 7:30 p.m. And let's see what's going to be happening. TC Anniversary Show, biggest show. I'm reading off their Facebook event page. Just type in TCW, and it'll bring up TCW Presents Wrestle Wars 5 if you want all the information about it. And it looks like he's got some folks going, some maybes, and a lot of people invited. But as you get closer to the event, I'm sure more people will.
It starts going up, yeah.
It starts going up. Right now, the TCW
event page was only posted yesterday, the event page.
Yeah, so that's pretty good for the event page. So 37 commitments right out the gate. For Facebook, that's pretty good. TCW heavyweight champion Johnny Axel will be defending his title against his title is also the TCW women's champion Zane Zena. Their belts will be up for contention. Also, the TV champion Bryson Scott. Well, he's got all championships pretty much. So that's a good card.
When we spoke off camera, he was talking about he's not ran TCW for a while, and he's really looking to come back with a bang. And the Austin scene's got some really good stuff going on, and he's wanting to be. Bring more wrestling to the scene as well.
Well, Austin's such a big place. There's over almost 1 million people in the area. That's Austin and the surrounding area. So, and you go to ACW, they got maybe 300, but his venue's kind of small. You go to Inspire, and the first show, I think there was about 150. Last show, there was almost 400 people there. That was packed. It was standing room only.
It was standing room only.
And they're not going to be able to stay there much longer. They're going to have to get a bigger venue because there's no way they're going to get all those people in there. And that's a professional wrestling show in an area of almost 1 million people, and that's not even a sliver. That's not even a bubble of how many fans that are out there that might not even know about these venues. And they don't know about these shows. And just think when the word gets out and the product's good, oh my God, you're going to be packing them out. It's going to be another sportatorium type thing where every
That's what I like about Inspire. Their first show, it was almost like they were testing the water. Like they didn't know what the attendance would be. Then the next show it grew, and it's just almost doubled their crowds in under 9 months, under 7 months, something like that. They debuted last June.
Yep, and they're smoking.
Show last month.
Now I want everybody to understand. My Lude has been around the independent wrestling scene here in Austin for years. I'm relatively new, but what I do is not anywhere near professional wrestling. Let's say I'm a little old. 20 years ago, maybe.
Sure.
But I'm a little old, but my specialty is ring announcing. So my contact, my experience with the pro wrestling promotions here locally and in the state of Texas. I've worked for the Texas Wrestling Federation. I've worked for the IPCW for their short run. They turned into Velocity, and then Velocity only lasted a couple of shows, and I worked for them. So my exposure is a lot less. But from what I've seen in my limited time, and I've now since moved on to MMA and boxing, is that a promotion is only as good as the commitment of the promoter. And what I've seen, and this I'm going to be brutally honest, there are some promotions that just don't get it. They act like they're WWE, but they haven't done what it takes to be a WWE. And the key word in this is promotion. And I think Justin Biss, I think he
Justin Bissonnette. Yeah.
Justin Bissonnette. Biss to everyone else. When he was with ACW, what he did, in my opinion, is he studied. He studied and he learned.
Yeah.
So when it was time for him to start Inspire Pro, and here's the key, and I hope these promoters are out there listening, because again, I'm no expert. This is just my outside observation. And sometimes when you're in the forest, you can't see the forest for the trees. It takes somebody outside looking in. And I think you'd agree with me. What Biss did is he surrounded himself with people he could trust, and so he didn't have to do everything himself. It wasn't a one-man show. And from that,
there was people just specifically brought in for one specific thing.
Exactly, and then he trusted them to do it, and he let them, and that's why Inspire Pro is successful. To be quite honest with you,
it's not one person sitting trying to do everything themselves because they don't trust anyone to help them with it.
Exactly.
He went to the people with a background in that specific area and said, let's work together.
Exactly.
And you do this for me.
And that's the difference, in my opinion. Now we got to go to a commercial break. We're on the air with Ludwig on the Glass Stick Celebrity Hotline. I'm Mike Allen. You're listening to On the Air Monday Morning Brew right here on Armed Radio. We'll be back.
Even though it's sometimes without getting back.
Hey, listen up. Are you tired of being tired? Looking for that extra boost? Do yourself a favor and visit buylimitlessenergy.com to learn about limitless energy. That's buylimitlessenergy.com for limitless energy. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Buylimitlessenergy.com. That's buylimitlessenergy.com. So stop wasting your life. Get limitless energy now.
Victims of Terrorism Foundation Incorporated in New York, New York, is working at debunking 9/11 conspiracy theories through book sales and a free channel on YouTube. It is the goal of the Victims of Terror organization to place stores at locations of terror attacks to assist in charities in raising money for their causes concerning those that were left behind. Visit www.votf.com to find out more information or to bring your charity together with others. We will never forget that day. Let us not forget those who are affected the most.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
The attacks of 9/11 have continued to shake our nation. As more and more information becomes available on the internet, it may be difficult to decipher what is fact and what is wild speculation. Author and investigator K.T. Penn has taken on the task of confronting the conspiracies head-on. In his book, Lifting Up the Cushions, Exposing Loose Change, he step-by-step walks the reader down the conspiracy path, debunking the findings of the controversial film Loose Change. Visit his website, exposingloosechange.com, and get more information about what really happened that fateful day.
Do you think laughter is for sissies? Or do you hate Santa Claus? Do you know that somebody does? If you answer yes to either of these two questions, then see a therapist. And visit this website right now at twerksfunnyt-shirts.com. The T in t-shirt is spelled T-E-E. Warning, These funny t-shirts and posters make great gifts and may cause internal bleeding, night terrors, blurred vision, and hemorrhoids. Please visit the website right now at torquesfunnyt-shirts.com, where you'll find some of the funniest t-shirts and posters on the web.
Glastic Water Bottle, a shatterproof glass water bottle. It's great for any liquid because everything tastes best in glass. A leak-proof lid you can close and toss on the couch without worry. Chances are it won't ever break, but if it does, no worries. The glass is safely contained inside a protective outer shell, so you won't have a dangerous mess to clean up. You can safely remove the broken glass and get replacements. Go to GlasticWaterBottle.com to get your very own Glastic bottle today. That's GlasticWaterBottle.com. GLASSTIC waterbottle.com. What are you waiting for?
All right, welcome back to the show. We are live on the air, Monday Morning Brew. You can hear me every Monday morning, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Armed Radio. A lot of big things happening in Armed Radio. We'll talk about those in a minute. But before we do that, we're going to finish up talking to one of the local super fans. Can I call you a super fan, Lude?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
One of the super fans, him and his son, who's an absolute joy to be around. If you ever met Lude and his boy, they are big-time pro wrestling fans, and I think one of the coolest things I saw ever in a sporting venue is when the entire roster and the entire crowd at the last Inspire show sang "Happy Birthday" to your boy, and your boy's, he's pretty special.
He turned 10. Yeah, my son Jack has PDD, which is pervasive developmental disorder, which is on the autism spectrum. And it was his birthday, and a part of his birthday I took him to the show. And I'd spoken to Biss a couple of days before that, just seeing if I could get something before the show began. I didn't want to interrupt their show. I was just trying to see if we could do something special and maybe make an announcement at the beginning, get the fans to sing happy birthday or something. And he was like, oh yeah, we can see what we can do. And then on the day, he was like, well, some of the guys are running late. As soon as they get here, we need to go live. I was like, oh, that's fine. But what he'd done instead was lined up something just before one of the main events. One of the wrestlers came out, and then they did that moment, and I was just standing there, the proudest father, as my son was over the moon.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, and the look on your boy's face was those type of moments in life is when you observe those. It's amazing. I bet you he talked about that I bet you he's still talking about it.
He spoke about. He would not stop talking about it to his mum for about 9 days. Every single day he would keep talking about it.
That is so awesome. And the wrestlers have really one of the things about pro wrestling that people don't understand, and yeah, I mean, the veil is kind of off the whole pro wrestling thing, and we can thank Vince McMahon for that. And people still love it, even though they know. But one of the cool things about indie wrestling that I've seen is the interaction with the young fans, with the wrestlers, and they really are superheroes.
Oh yeah.
And just the way that these big 6 foot tall guys are in there wrestling, that they will come out into the crowd and just and have a great interaction with the kids, the young fans, and it's a memorable moment.
Oh yeah, like James Claxton, he's 6'5", 285. And then every time my son sees him, he's like, "Hi, Cowboy James," and he'll run over and high five him, and James will give him a headlock, and Jack will punch him in the stomach, and it's like they'll just play around, and then Claxton has to go and get his bags in there, because we'll show up early before the show and meet the guys and the women coming in.
Yeah.
Just to, hey, how you doing?
And I'm sure when you
show up at bell time, we show up way early.
And I'm sure when your boy goes to school, he knows he's got his back's covered.
I got a phone call from the school, and it was one of the teachers asking me who Mike Dell is, and I had to ask why, and she said, "Jack is talking about Mike Dell kicking someone's booty." And I had to explain that Mike Dell's one of the wrestlers that he loves going to see.
That's funny. That's awesome.
So I got a phone call from the school.
That is awesome.
But that's how much he loves it, because the other kids will ask him, like, what did you do on the weekend? He's like, I went to the wrestling with my dad. And then they just start talking about it. Mike Dell was kicking booty.
Oh, that's awesome.
Phone call.
Well, he's a sweet kid, and I've had the pleasure of meeting him, and he's always happy to see everybody, it seems like. And he doesn't even know me.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll high-five, and how you doing? And he's a really cool kid. And you're a good dad, man. I tell you, I see you interact with him, and that's the type of relationship that's going to last a lifetime right there. So you keep doing it right.
Thank you so much for acknowledging that. It's one of those bonding experiences. And that's one of the reasons, at the end of the year, I'm going to be retiring from doing the interviews. Because when I go to shows, I do bring my son, and I think it's an injustice on my part to have someone look after him for a little while I'm filming an interview. And sometimes I think he gets the feeling that when we go to a show, Daddy's going to work.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
that's
why
totally understandable. Totally understandable. Well, I'm sure.
Until the end of the year, I'm going to keep delivering high-quality stuff like the Mr. B interview that was just filmed this weekend. Not this weekend, the Thursday, I think it was.
Well, see, that's something I was going to suggest, because I know a lot of your shoot interviews are done at the venues during the shows. You could probably still keep this passion alive by just setting up appointments outside of the venues during the week when you're not. Well, that way you can go to the shows and enjoy them with your son, and then still have.
I'll reveal something here. Several of the interviews over the last 6 or 7 months, I filmed them at my apartment with lighting and better angles of the camera to where there's not background noise at a show. But what I do is I legitimately book the guys. I work out a schedule that's good for them. And I never really reveal this, but when I do one of them at my apartment, I actually pay the guy a fee that I set up. I don't ask what their fee is for a wrestling event or things like that. I book them for an interview, and it's a set price that I set out. So I'm legitimately booking them for their time and transit. And I provide a meal and things like that. So it's not just, hey, show up, do an interview, goodbye. It's, Mr. B was at my apartment for 7 hours. So,
wow.
I'm trying to be as professional as possible. I'm not asking for favors. You know what I mean? Like, hey, do you want to come over and just film a shoot?
Well, a lot of these guys should see this as an opportunity to advance their career too. It shouldn't be about getting a paycheck.
Oh, I understand that, but I'm and this is the first time I've revealed it, but I am providing them the common courtesy and the decency of actually booking them for their time. And I mean, I've had JC Bravo, I've had Vex, ACH traveling up from San Antonio or from Austin, and then they were driving back to San Antonio for a show that later that day.
Well, I certainly hope that family comes first, and I totally respect that. Yes. But I certainly hope that somehow you can fit into everything that you've got going on to continue these interviews and to continue these shoot interviews, because I do believe, personally, I believe that it's going to do a lot of good for independent wrestling, because I think you provide a very unique look into that sport, into that art, and you do it with the respect that those guys have earned, and that's what I've noticed. You know, it's not, you're not a gotcha type guy. You just lay it out and let them talk.
I don't ask dirt questions.
No, but
I don't ask for any dirt on anyone. I don't ask for any dodgy stories. I don't set them up with a trick question.
yeah. Well, the gotcha stuff, yeah. You don't do the gotcha stuff, and that's when you start doing gotcha stuff and you start doing that type of stuff, you're looking for something that ain't there, in my opinion. I don't really respond well to that, and you don't. You laid it out. You let B talk.
On top of that,
you let B talk,
and I don't want to ruin a reputation. I don't want to ruin the reputation it's taken me over 5 years to build.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And when like I said, I've watched 2 of the 3 segments on the B interview, and I've got my personal feelings about it, which I'm not going to go into. I mean, it's business. There's business and there's personal. Mr. B, I like as a person. I enjoy watching him wrestle. He's been in my van on road trips many, many times. We've had great conversations. I had a good time. But the business side of it is something different, and it's I don't take it personal. And I wish him success. I hope the Wrestle Wars 5 comes off. If I'm free, if I'm not working somewhere, I think I might go down and help support that, just to support the wrestlers. And because I want to see everybody. I want to see him succeed because his passion's there. I just hope he figures it out. And I hope he figures out the business aspect of it, because he definitely has a passion for it, and you cannot deny that. And he's definitely a good wrestler. He's very entertaining. He understands the crowd. Everybody that he's ever wrestled against have always been good matches, in my opinion. And I'm from a very. I'm only 2 years into even being around it, and with my limited knowledge and limited exposure, I kind of look at it with different eyes. I look at it with new eyes, and he's always entertaining. I've never seen a bad match out of Mr. B. And I've watched him wrestle ACW. I've seen him in his TCW matches, and I've also announced him in TWF and also Velocity. He wrestled in Velocity once before.
And he's now in Inspire as well. So.
And now he's in Inspire, and I hope he does well in Inspire, because he is entertaining.
And if anyone can't find the channel, if you go on YouTube and just put First Contact, and then just put Ludwig, Ludevig.
Yeah,
I always tag every single one of my videos. I always tag it, so you'll find all the interviews are under the tagline First Contact, because I did that because a lot of times this is the first time fans are getting to see these guys and women in shoot interviews.
Yeah, I actually for the Mr. B one, you had a link on Facebook, but I took it in and watched it on my phone when I was going to bed, and I just searched "shoot interview Mr. B" and it came up too. So any one of those
it's
things.
The first one he's done.
Yeah. So people can find it. It's on YouTube, and also like your channels on YouTube, Ludwig, and what was your
the other one under my real name, Alec Johnston.
Alec Johnston.
Johnston.
A lot of good interviews on there, man. Now you've just. I was going to have a couple days off, but now I got to sit and watch all your videos. What are you doing? What are you doing to me now?
Well, I'm still going to be going to shows, even though I'm not doing after the end of the year. I'll still be going to shows, and I'll still be filming matches and clips, because I put together like hype videos and promotional things for the wrestlers. I don't do it specifically for one company. I do it for the wrestlers to try and give them one more piece of advertising.
A little more exposure. A little more exposure.
Just get the interest out there for them.
Absolutely. Well, that's what it's all about, is exposure. And I had a conversation in the car. I was driving to TWF. I had a carload, and I'm not going to mention his name because it isn't anything embarrassing. But the comment was made. He was complaining about a bad rap he was getting from somebody. And I told him, I said, well, are people talking about you? He says, yeah, but it's this. I said, look, when you're in the entertainment business, any publicity is good publicity.
Anything.
Because if they ain't talking about you, either good or bad, you're not doing anything. So
if they're not even thinking of your name, you don't know what you're doing.
Embrace it. Own it. Whatever they're saying you're doing, own it. And let that character, let your wrestling persona thrive off that. And whatever direction it takes, don't fight it. Just go with it.
Go with it.
Go with it and enjoy the fun. Enjoy the ride. And a lot of the wrestlers, I watch all the... When I get into something, I do a lot of research, and I watched a lot of the documentaries on some of the greats, the Steve Austins and stuff. And these guys, I saw a thread real quick, because I know you have to go. I saw a thread on Facebook about people bagging on the wrestlers that were playing cops in the last Monday Night Raw, I think it was.
Yes, it was 6 local guys.
Yeah, 6 local guys. And, of course, we all saw Ricky Starks get put through a table for Ryback, and I thought that was cool, but a lot of people don't...
I've seen James Claxton play a police officer, I think it was on SmackDown.
Exactly, but what a lot of people don't understand is Stone Cold Steve Austin did that too. Yep. He carried the throne for one of the wrestlers for King of the Ring back when he was a nobody. And that's called paying the price. And just because they were on
a lot of the guys have done that.
Yeah, just because they were a cop during a Monday Night Raw segment doesn't mean that their career's ended. They could still be the next Stone Cold. They could still be the next Daniel Bryan.
Because a lot of people are forgetting, they're out there on a live televised broadcast in front of thousands of people.
Yeah,
this is
getting exposure.
Looking at them like, how can they? Are they going to buckle under the pressure?
Exactly.
Because instead of throwing them out on the match, they just want to see how these people react in front of this amount of people in front of cameras first.
And you get that networking. And if you're willing to do that and serve,
a match and go, here, go on my time.
Exactly. And if you're willing to do a match like that and serve the greater good, then that's going to get you on the good side. And then they'll use it for something else and maybe take a look at you. So I'm applauding it. I thought it was cool. Well, hey, thanks for joining me this morning at a short notice.
Thanks so much, Mike.
We'll have to have you on again. I mean, you get off work in the morning. We're here every Monday morning. Let me know if you ever want to come in again. And again, I appreciate you coming in this morning.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, brother. Talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later, Mike.
I'll see you next show.
Yep.
All right. That was Ludwig. You can see his videos on YouTube. Just type in Shoot Interview, Ludwig, and check him out. A lot of local indie wrestling. Well, I'm Mike Allen. This has been On the Air Monday Morning Brew. We're on the air every Monday morning, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Armed Radio, and we're moving on to bigger and better things. Pay attention to what's going on, because we're turning into Armed Radio Global. And that announcement will come. I just gave you a little tip of the iceberg right there. I'm Mike Allen. This has been On the Air Monday Morning Brew. See you next week.
Hey,